Alright folks, so we got a couple of requests in the last couple of days for a tutorial on how to remove the baffle on this, and one gentleman asked last night for a sound test before and after, so we're going to go ahead and do that this morning. So we're going to do a before sound test just so you guys have a baseline for what the Coffman's exhaust system sounds like on the bike before we take the baffle out. So that's what it sounds like with the baffle in, and now we're going to go ahead and take the baffle out so you guys can hear what it sounds like without the baffle. First thing you're going to do is you're going to start off by removing, there's a snap ring inserted inside there. So ideally if you have a pair of snap ring pliers, that would be what you want to use right here, but since the average person doesn't, that's not what I'm going to use. I'm going to get a little paper clip and extend it out and put a little hook on the end like that and grab a pair of needle nose pliers, and this is what you're going to do. You're going to put your paper clip on the other side over here, and you're going to twist it just a little bit to get it up underneath that snap ring. And then when you pinch, pressing against the other side, fish it out on the back side, and that will release your snap ring for you. And there it is. In order to get that out of there, it's going to require a little bit of jimmying, but because you don't want to actually damage this surface right here, I'm just going to take that same pair of pliers. I put some tape over top of it to protect it, to protect the metal in the side of there. And I'm just going to grab it, wiggle a little bit, and that baffle comes out nice and easy. So that's what that looks like. So we're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a sound test. So we're going to do the same test that we did before on the installation video. We're going to run it up to 4,000 and then 7,000 RPM to give you guys a comparison point to test it against. So that's our sound test without the baffle. It's even louder without the baffle in it. So if that's what you guys are going for, mission accomplished. So putting this back together is not as straightforward as you would think it would be. It's not just a matter of sliding it back in and snapping the O-ring, and you got to tap on this thing a little bit. And if you don't want to damage it, then you need something to protect the surface. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and drop that baffle back in there. And because of that O-ring you saw in there, it's not going to go all the way back in the way that you want it to. So what you'll need to do if it doesn't go in there real easy is just stick something on there so that you're not striking it directly. Get a nice heavy hammer and just tap on it on every side just to make sure that it fits in there. So once we get this back together, again, putting the snap ring in is much easier if you have a pair of snap ring pliers, but since most of us don't own a pair of snap ring pliers, I'm going to do this the way most of us would. We're going to set the ring back in there. I'm going to force it against the back there so it can't slip out of my pliers, and then I'm going to put tension on it. And then I'm going to take that same paper clip and I'm just going to nudge it back in there. Make sure it's set in there real good. And then in order to make sure it seats real well, just stick a flat blade screwdriver or one of the blades on your Leatherman tool. Push it in there and just give it a little twist and make sure that it's fit into the recess. And that's how you put it back together.